Hey guys, welcome back to Facebook Live. I'm Jeanette, this is my friend Grant, and we are backstage in the Rachael Show Prep Kitchen, and today we are slimming things down. As you know, we are right in the middle of July, right in the middle of that season where people are wearing less clothes. So it is time to, it's swimsuit season, guys. So today we're slimming it down with two of our go-to healthy, slim suppers.
Yeah.
And as always, we would love to hear from you guys. We want to hear any of your questions that you may have, any comments. So comment and let us know what you guys are up to. And we'd also love to know, what are some of your healthy go-to suppers? I know Grant and I are always looking for some fun, creative ideas for a healthy dinner. So we'd love to hear from you guys. Totally. And I think today we are going to get things started with something that Grant and I affectionately like to call a skinny cocktail.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, so cocktails aren't inherently super healthy, but we took one of our favorite drinks and sort of slimmed it down a little bit for summertime. So this is our version of a skinny Paloma, kind of,
yeah.
right? A Paloma is a tequila-based grapefruit cocktail, but you can use any spirit you'd like. We're going to use about 1.5 ounces of tequila and just pour that over some ice.
Because if you've been watching us, you know that tequila happens to be our favorite spirit.
Totally, yes. And then Jeanette's going to put in some grapefruit juice, which has some really great health benefits, right?
It does, yeah. I find that when if I'm trying to be healthy, like I say, you know, everything in moderation, including moderation. So,
yeah.
You know, if you're being healthy and you're trying to cut some heavy fats or carbs out of your diet, you're still going to want to enjoy yourself with a cocktail or two during the week at some point, right?
Yeah.
So, grapefruit juice, I find, is low in natural sugar. And I've read that it increases your metabolism, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
So, Grant, you just squeezed half a lime into each one, right?
Just a little bit of lime juice just to, you know, flavor it up a tiny bit. And then that's just some seltzer water,
A little
right?
bit of simple, yeah, some club soda or seltzer. And look at that. Isn't that... It kind of almost looks like a little sunset. It's darker at the bottom and lighter on top.
Another great thing about this drink, too, is all these ingredients they always have at a bar. So you can order this if you're going out for drinks as well. If you're having, you know, going out to a restaurant.
Exactly. Before we cheers, we would love to say hello to Mary from Michigan.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Cheers to you. And cheers to you. Oh, samesies. Thanks for watching, Mary.
Ooh, that's good.
Ooh, that is good.
I'm getting thinner already.
This makes you thinner, right?
Look at me, I'm just slimming down right
He's going to be gone by the end of this broadcast today.
Yeah, so these are really, really good. This is a great summertime cocktail. I could just sit by the pool and drink this.
Ooh. Maybe we should do that after this. When we go to the pool. That sounds lovely.
But as we said earlier, today we are making some slimmed down suppers.
We are.
Jeanette's going to get us started, right? You're going to make one of your favorite slimmer suppers.
I am. I'm going to get us kicked off today with something that I like to call my skinny turkey meatballs. And this is a recipe where if you are a friend of mine, if you're a family member of mine, if you're my husband who's probably sick of this dish, I make these probably at least twice a month. And I make them in a big batch. This is a great recipe to freeze. And I love doing that. And I also love meal prepping. So you make a big batch of these at the beginning of the week. Yeah. You've got healthy meals in your refrigerator for you know, the whole week, kind of different variations of them, etc. So what I do is I start with 99% lean turkey breast meat. And I like that just because it's low fat, higher protein. And then I'm going to just season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of oregano. And this is a little bit of red chili flakes to make them spicy. And this is definitely a replacement for one of my favorite dishes, and I don't know if it's one of your favorite dishes, spaghetti and meatballs. Who doesn't love spaghetti and meatballs? So this is my way of getting to eat that kind of indulgent meal of spaghetti and meatballs all week long when I'm being healthy.
That's great.
So this is my secret ingredient to my meatballs. This is oat flour, and it sounds fancy, but you can buy it in the store as oat flour. But all it is ground up rolled oats, which I actually learned from my friend Grant here, because that is one of your main ingredients for your Grant's famous cookie recipe.
Yeah, it's one of the couple flours that's in my cookie recipe. But all you have to do is put your oats into a food processor and buzz it up until it looks like flour, pretty much. If you guys are just now joining us, we're making some slimmed down suppers today.
Yes, we are.
And we asked you guys what your favorite slimmed down suppers are, because we're making ours.
We are.
Katie commented below and said that she likes to make grilled chicken, quinoa, feta, and corn as a light meal. meal.
That sounds great,
That sounds
Katie.
really good and
I
delicious.
might make that tonight.
Fresh.
We've been talking all week about how wonderful corn is right now.
Yeah.
It's so inexpensive. It's really, really fresh. Great idea. I like that.
Yeah.
I love quinoa too.
Yeah.
Actually, quinoa is a great replacement for the oats. If you don't have any rolled oats, actually leftover quinoa. I always find I have like a little bit of it. I can throw these in here as well. These meatballs are super flexible to whatever you want to add. We want to say hi to Elvira from Mexico.
Ooh,
Hola,
from Mexico.
Elvira.
Hola.
Thanks for watching, Elvira. And this is another ingredient I like to use. Traditionally in meatballs is Parmesan cheese. Now, I use Parmesan cheese in a lot of healthy recipes because, like Rachel says a lot, it's very salty and has a very big flavor. So you don't need to use a lot of it. So you're not finding that you're putting a ton of cheese in it. Half a cup goes a long way, and this recipe actually serves 6. So half a cup of cheese divided by 6.
I also find that like an aged cheese has a lot more flavor to it.
You're
So
right.
if you use an aged cheese, you have to use a little bit less of it. So instead of using like a mild cheddar, use an aged cheddar and just use a tiny bit less.
Absolutely.
It's a nice little
And Grant actually helped me out here with my secret ingredient. How many secret ingredients do these have? These have a lot of
These are
secret
Jeanette's
ingredients. I'm
secret
telling you all my
meatballs.
secrets today. This is some baby spinach. So I just took a big handful of baby spinach, and that's kind of one of those things where like this is your opportunity to sneak some vegetables into your family members, your kids,
Yeah.
your unwilling partners of eating up there.
It's chopped up so tiny that you're not even going to know it's
You're
in
not
there.
even going to know it's there. I'm using spinach today, but again, I've used kale, I've used zucchini, I've used cauliflower. Grant's about to make a really cool recipe with some cauliflower. So it's really your opportunity to get some vegetables into, adding extra fiber and protein into your meals is always a good tactic.
Mary is asking if you could use ground chicken instead of ground turkey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly, interchangeably. I do just like to make these with either turkey or chicken breast meat
Yeah.
because that kind of just keeps them a little bit lighter.
Totally.
All right, so now I just dug right in here.
Yeah.
This is funny. Yesterday we were talking about cooking when we were kids and how to get kids more involved. I remember being a kid, and this was my favorite part, is getting your hands dirty in the something about the turkey meat. It just kind of feels like,
especially when you roll meatballs too, because after a couple of them, you're sort of like, oh, I don't want to do all these, and just give them to the kids.
give the kids some
They'll do
tasks. I know.
Because it's almost like Play-Doh.
It is kind of like
You can make
Play-Doh.
little
Can you do
shapes.
me a favor, Grant?
Sure.
I got my hands dirty, and I wanted to talk about my my cooking
Oh,
spray.
yeah.
So I know you guys watch the show, and one of our favorite guests that we have on the show who loves to cook is Bob Harper, and he's become a really good friend of ours just because he's super into cooking.
Yeah.
And so a tip that we often talk about when we're talking about healthy cooking is using olive oil cooking spray, and we find that it's just basically portion control.
Yeah.
Not that olive oil is bad for you. Good fats are definitely really great for you, but there's something about using cooking spray that just like it helps you portion. You're not overdoing it.
And it sort of evenly distributes everything. Too,
Exactly.
So you're not using too much. of it.
Exactly. So from here, I use one of these. I'm a little messy. Do you mind picking? Let me rinse my hands off
sure.
real quick.
So if you guys are just joining us today, we are making some slim summer suppers, right?
Yes, we are.
And Jeanette is in the middle of making her slim down meatballs. So we're about to roll those, and then I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite slim down suppers, and it's a cauliflower fried rice.
Ooh, so
I'm going to show you that in just a second, but
Yes.
Jeanette's going to show us her meatballs.
So I use one of these. You use these for your cookies as well, a little cookie
Yeah.
scoop. And all you do. This one's about 1.5 to 2 inches. And I just scoop them pretty evenly. And Rachel always says another great thing for portion control is that you're not you don't have like a bunch of like perfectly sized meatballs and then one really big or one really small one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put a bunch of these on my cookie sheet.
We have another viewer who just posted. Crystal said that she likes to add kale, mushrooms, and carrots into her meatballs.
Crystal.
That's fun.
That is, you are like a vegetable hiding champion. That is incredible. I love all of those ideas.
Another reason meatballs are really great is because you can pretty much put anything you like in them.
Anything.
So if you love, pepperoni pizza, you can make a pepperoni pizza inspired meatball.
That sounds
if you'd like.
delicious.
Yeah.
I might need to do that.
So while Jeanette's rolling those up, I'm going to get started on the
Yeah.
cauliflower rice, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, cool. So in this pan, I have some chicken that I just ground up. I actually like to marinate my chicken a little bit in some tamari and Chinese 5-spice. It's just, you can buy it in the spice aisle, and it has a lot of really yummy warm flavors in it, and it gives it a pretty interesting flavor. So I just cook that over some high heat and a little bit of sesame oil, and then to that I'm going to add in some grated carrot. The reason I use grated carrot is because I find carrots are really hard to chop. So if you just grate them up, it kind of does the same thing, and it's a little bit easier. And I'm going to add in some onion as well. That was just half of a yellow onion. And I added that right down into the pan. And we're just going to cook that until the carrots and onions sort of soften up a tiny bit.
Hi to Carol from Colorado.
Oh, hello, Carol.
Hi, Carol. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So I have to tell you guys that I was the biggest cauliflower rice skeptic. Like, I saw it was very trendy. A lot of people were making it, and they're like, oh, it tastes just like rice. And I was like, there's no way that cauliflower tastes like rice. That's just preposterous, right?
Preposterous.
Yeah, that. So, I didn't make cauliflower fried rice until recently. I was reading Gwyneth Paltrow's cookbook, and she had a
Name
recipe.
drop.
I know, name drop, right? She had a recipe for a kimchi fried rice. And I love kimchi, so I was like, I'm going to try this out with cauliflower, and I really, really liked it. So then I started using cauliflower rice more. And this is just a cauliflower fried rice that tastes just like the fried rice that you might get at your local Chinese food restaurant.
Yeah.
So to make cauliflower fried rice, all you do is drop some roughly chopped cauliflower into a food processor. For this recipe, we're going to use an entire head of cauliflower, but I have some of it done over here already. And you just pulse it up a couple times for about 3 seconds for each pulse, and then eventually you get a really great looking, it looks just like rice. See, look at that.
Really fast, too.
And it's cauliflower, but it looks exactly like rice. Oops, I just dumped it on the counter.
Throwing some at the camera. And this is actually the base for a ton of healthy recipes, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a ton of recipes for cauliflower pizza crust, and you know, the cauliflower fried rice is super popular. Have you guys ever cooked with cauliflower rice before? Let us know what you guys have made. It's one of my favorite ingredients.
Yeah, I know Jeanette uses it all the time. You can actually buy it frozen, right?
You can buy it frozen, and you can buy it fresh now in some of the health food stores.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you could buy it both ways, but again, a head of cauliflower is pretty inexpensive, and it's just one more dish to wash. I know I really, really try to avoid doing the dishes as much as I can.
Right? So in this little bowl, I'm just going to make our seasoning sauce for the fried rice, and I have 2 tablespoons of tamari, and to that I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of honey. But you can use pretty much anything that's in your cabinet that's sweet. You could use sugar, you could use brown sugar, you could use maple syrup, and just, you know, a little bit goes a long way.
Could you use some agave?
And then, you could totally use agave as well.
I always have agave in the pantry.
And then I just added in 2 teaspoons of some rice wine vinegar. But again, you just want to add anything that's acidic. So you could use lime juice, you could use just white vinegar, pretty much anything you have.
Michelle commented, and she said that shredded carrots are a great way to sweeten anything.
Oh, that's
and I
true.
actually, when you're trying to be healthy, I think that's a great idea. Instead of adding any kind of other artificial sweeteners or something,
Yeah.
carrots are just. I actually put them in my marinara sauce sometimes to sweeten it up.
Oh yeah, that's a great
That's
idea.
always really nice.
So to this pan, we already have our chicken, our carrots, and the onions, and I'm adding in some frozen corn and some frozen peas, because those are all, you know, typical things that you would find in
Really
a fried rice.
colorful and beautiful.
I know, it's pretty, right? And now I'm just going to add in all of our cauliflower fried rice. Like I said earlier, this is 1 head of cauliflower.
Oh, that's so much.
I know, right? This could feed like an army of
Really
6,
could.
and it's just a bunch of vegetables so far. And I think that's it. Oh, we're also going to add in our sauce, and this is what's going to flavor it up.
Beautiful. Rachel just posted, and she said, "Is this considered a 30-minute meal?"
Oh, totally.
I actually think you could probably make this in
Yeah.
Maybe we'll challenge yourself, Rachel. See if you can make it in 15.
Yeah, let us know how to turn it out.
You've watched us here make some 15-minute meals.
Yeah,
and we're sweating by the end of it, so you know.
Both of these are pretty quick meals,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
And super easy too. So now we're just gonna pop a lid on this.
Stir it up enough?
Yeah. I'm
Excellent.
gonna turn it up a little bit, and then pop a lid on that, and then that'll only take about 5 minutes to cook. So we're gonna come back to that.
Yes.
And I think Jeanette's gonna finish up her dish, right?
I am. So like I said, you know, my recipe today was a little bit of a wink and a nudge to one of my favorite kind of comfort meals, which is spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
And we know this very well from you guys. We've made this on the show a ton of times, and Rachel constantly is writing recipes. This is a spaghetti squash, and I know that this isn't a strange ingredient to you guys, because every time we do it on the show, people go ballistic. You guys love downloading these recipes, and it's actually inspired me to cook with it more. They're pretty inexpensive, and they're always at the grocery store. So there's a few ways to cook spaghetti squash. There's probably the easiest way, and the way that it always says on the sticker on the back of it when you buy it, is to microwave it. So that is 10 minutes in the microwave. You stab it with a fork or a knife around, put it in a shallow pan with a little bit of water, pop it in the microwave for 10 to 12 minutes, and it is perfect, really steamy and nice. Just be careful when you're opening it, it's a little hot.
Yeah.
But today I'm going to show you a way to do it. This is the way I like to cook it. It's I just split it open, I scoop out the inside of the seeds and kind of what would you call that in the inside of the squash? The guts. The guts of the squash. I didn't know
meat.
if that's
We'll call it the meat,
Yeah.
right?
So you just you scoop out the inside of that, And again, my secret weapon again when I'm cooking healthy is my olive oil cooking spray. So I just spray the top pretty liberally, and then I season with salt and pepper. And I'm going to roast this cut side up and skin side down so that the top gets really caramelized and crispy, and it almost really mimics that flavor of al dente pasta.
Yeah.
You can absolutely flip it upside down, and that would give you a little bit more of a steam texture.
Okay,
and
cool.
probably cook a little bit faster too. So I'm going to pop this into the oven.
I like doing it cut side up too, because when it browns, it sort of like caramelizes that sugar, so it makes it a little bit sweeter too, right?
I agree. I agree. Yeah. So I that's just kind of the way I do it. We were also talking the other day about why, you know, since it is grilling season, I often, it was funny, Sunny Anderson, one of our good friends here, a couple years ago, she brought a bunch of grilling gadgets, and one of the gadgets that she had that I was in love with was a meatball grilling basket.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I brought
I
it home
that.
and I use it all the time, so that's definitely one way that you could cook these on the grill. But we were saying that we don't see a reason why you couldn't put the spaghetti squash into like a foil pouch and cook it on the top rack under an indirect heat.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys tried that before in the grill?
totally
Like
do that, I
the
think.
kind of steaming a spaghetti squash open?
Yeah.
I hadn't tried it, but maybe I'll try it this weekend and let you guys know how that goes if that sounds fun. So this is what your spaghetti squash, this has been cooling. Don't touch it when it comes out of the oven like that. This has been cooling for probably about 20-30 minutes, and you really want to wait for it to be cool enough to handle. And the best part about this is Rachael actually makes some of her recipes in this boat proper. So that's one less dish to use, which you know is one
Not
of my
only
favorite
do you
things.
cook it in that, but it's also your
Serve it in
serving
it. It's
bowl.
so cute.
You were talking about meal prep earlier,
Yes, I
right?
was.
With meatballs. This is great for meal prep as well. Just to
So
have
great.
some already made spaghetti squash in the fridge that you can grab whenever you're hungry.
Absolutely. Rachel's got that wonderful spaghetti squash casserole recipe that
Oh,
we all
yeah.
went nuts over.
That's really
And
good.
I also like to put spaghetti squash in like my frittatas. Add some extra fiber to your eggs in the morning is really nice.
Lindsay and also my mom Pam commented and said they could use a spiralizer for this.
Yes, yeah, not for this one, but spiralizer is actually one of my favorite kitchen tools. For you guys, I'll post my zoodles recipe that I made a few weeks
But you
back.
can make the zoodles and serve the meatballs on
Oh,
that. if
totally.
You want to, right?
Yeah. Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
That's a great
Yes.
idea.
Yeah. Any kind of replacement. Again, I'm like Grant would agree. Probably we're pasta junkies.
Yeah.
We love pasta. So anything, you know, Monday through Friday, I try to keep it a little bit slimmer. On the weekends, I will have a nice bowl of pasta. But so you know, this is anything that kind of mimics that pasta, like twirling on the fork, just always kind of brings me joy.
Yeah.
So again, I just scoop this out really easily, and this looks like spaghetti, right?
It does.
I
It looks
can't.
just
I
like
can't
spaghetti.
see why. And you know, it's got a nice crunch to it.
Chaz posted and has a really great tip. He said that he puts, or maybe she, I don't know, Chaz. But you put a whole garlic in the middle of a squash to sort of flavor it.
That's a great idea.
Right? You could just put some garlic cloves in there and then it
Why
sort of
have we
flavor
never
it like
thought of
garlic.
that? I love
don't
that.
know. But next time we're gonna do
Chaz,
that.
I'm gonna put a.
This is really cool. It looks
I'm gonna use
exactly
my
like
hand.
spaghetti.
So yeah, it looks really pretty like spaghetti. And I wrote up for you guys my quick marinara sauce recipe, which I will post online, as well as all of these recipes later. If you want to check back on the Facebook page, all these recipes are going to be available a little bit later. But this is my quick marinara sauce. It's just, you know, basic tomato sauce. And whatever you guys, you know, if you guys have a family recipe that you like to make, this is my grandma's recipe. But use a jar. I'm not in your kitchen. I'm not judging you either. Use a jar of sauce. I understand. We're all busy. So something that Rachael and I always agree on is she doesn't like to serve naked pasta at her table.
Yeah.
So I always like to put a little bit of sauce on whatever pasta I'm cooking first and just toss that around.
So that everything's nice and evenly
You don't want
coated,
naked
right?
pasta.
Yeah.
No naked pasta here.
I agree.
And then I'm going to grab my meatballs out of the oven. I threw those in the oven while Grant started his cauliflower, his fried rice. But these were ones that I made a little bit earlier today. These are, see, look how cute they are. And using the little scooper, they're nice and small.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
I
can't wait to try
I know,
this.
I'm excited. So, where's my little spoon to scoop these? These cook in the oven at like 375 for about, I'd say like 12 to 14 minutes. Keep your eye on them. You want them to be nice and brown on the top and the bottom. And they will get nice and brown on the top and the bottom because you sprayed them with your olive oil cooking spray.
Yeah.
So they're going to be wonderful. Again, I'm just using my fingers.
Yummy.
I know.
See,
They're
look how nice and brown those are.
really
Those are
cute.
beautiful.
and
They're so moist too. I can feel
yeah,
how moist they are.
nice. It's the spinach and any kind of
Yeah.
vegetable that you guys put in it. I'm going to put another dollop of sauce on top. One other thing about using one of my biggest tips about eating healthy. A couple years ago, I had like a big lifestyle change and I started eating a lot healthier. And one thing that I couldn't give up, and I will self-admit that I'm not very good at, is portion control. Is like sometimes it's just comforting to like sit down with like a nice big bowl of food. So it's kind of been my goal over the past few years to come up with some recipes that you can eat more of without feeling guilty about it. So I think you can eat a whole spaghetti squash and it's not very many calories. It's pretty much just vegetable. And then with this recipe, since you made them kind of small, this feeds 6 people, but every portion you get like 5 or 6 meatballs. Yeah. So that's a decent size, amazing. Right?
Yeah.
You want to try?
Absolutely.
Give it a quick try. We would love to say hi to Deborah from Arkansas. Hello, Deborah. I hope you make the meatballs. Let me know how they come out if you do. And let me know what you think of those. I'm just gonna go for dipping.
That's really good.
They're good, right? Mm-hmm. They don't taste healthy either. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're cooking,
like a big bowl of spaghetti and meatballs.
Right.
I'd say my favorite thing about this dish is Jeanette grew up Italian and made a lot of Italian foods, right? And this is a version of something that you ate growing up, and you made it something that you can eat now and make it super skinny and super healthy. You could eat this any night of the week. Definitely. That's amazing, Jeanette. I love it.
Let's see. That smells
very, very
so
good. So over here, the cauliflower rice is
gorgeous.
Finished cooking. Okay, you want to give that a toss?
I do,
You can kind of see the cauliflower on the sides. It's kind of nice and brown, like fried rice, and it caramelizes. Looks super yummy.
Really pretty, Grant.
Let me grab a spoon.
Belinda just commented, and she said that she's made broccoli and cheese spaghetti squash.
Ooh, yum.
That sounds so good.
That sounds really
Post us your recipe. We'd love to see that.
Check this out. This is some cauliflower fried rice. I'm going to chop up some scallions over here.
Ooh, good idea.
Yeah, holding that.
I would not mind holding this at all. And hi to Paige from North Carolina. Hello, Paige. Thanks for watching.
Paige. So I'm just chopping up some scallion just for a nice little fresh garnish on top of our cauliflower fried rice. Check that out. Now, this recipe would serve about 4 people, but here's a great tip. If you want to stretch this recipe a tiny bit, all you have to do is fry up an egg and put it on top.
I love that.
I know, isn't that fun?
Put an egg on anything.
Let's serve 6 people.
Oh, so gorgeous.
Just have a fried egg back here. Check that out. This is our cauliflower fried rice with the fried egg on top.
I'm getting a fork.
And there's no rice in this at all. There's not even... Is there a carb in this? I don't know.
No.
If there are, there's not very many.
It's good carbs for you. No, it's just vegetables and chicken. And
this is a giant bowl of vegetables, and your kids or husbands will never know.
They'll never know. It's really hot.
It's very hot, right? So like we said before, we will post all these recipes on the site later today.
Oh my gosh, Grant.
Was that good?
That is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Honestly, if you put this in front of me and didn't tell me it was cauliflower, I would have no idea that wasn't fried rice.
You could put this in a takeout container and tell people that you went to the Chinese food store. They'll never know.
They would have no idea.
They will never know.
Well, that'd actually be really cute if you were having like a night in. Yeah. Get some of those containers and like sit and all in the living room eating your healthy food out of your little tub. I love that. That's my favorite part.
Not only is it make your own takeout, but it's healthy too.
It is. It's so good.
So tomorrow we're going to be back here in the kitchen, same time, same place, making some Throwback Thursday recipes. We're both going to make one of our favorite of Rachel's dishes, right?
Throwbacks, yeah.
I'm really excited to show you what my favorite one is. But like I said, all these recipes will be on the Facebook page later today, so make sure you come back and check those out. And if you like what we made today, make sure you like, comment, share, and cook. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Bye. We'll see you tomorrow.